everyone. Welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. I am your host, Katrina Jameson. I am the founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm female business leaders with the strategies they need to live life on their terms, a legendary life. Well, we have made it to the last month of the year. We are in the month of December. Can you believe it? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But we're here. We've made it. We've made it to the end of the year. This month, we are going to dive into how to assess your performance in the current year in order to build a strong roadmap for next year. Now, in the corporate world, I would do that on a regular basis. No doubt, if you are in the corporate world right now, you have someone in the company telling you, giving you details, letting you know what the targets will be for next year. But you can't really create a plan. You can't really understand all the pieces and parts that you need to use and put into a roadmap for next year if you don't do some assessment on the front end. And so this entire month, what I'm going to do every single week is we're going to walk through how to look at what you've already accomplished, take all of those details, put it together, and create a really strong, solid roadmap to help you deliver where you need to deliver next year. Sound like a plan? I hope so. That's what we're going to do. So let's get started. So the first step that you're going to take, is you're going to go pull all of your metrics, right? You're going to pull all of your financial details. And I'm not talking about, just for the moment. I'm talking about year to date. Now, yes, I know you're going to say, Katrina, hello, you just said it's the beginning of December. So why are you asking me to go ahead and pull everything if I have a month left to accomplish something? Well, I hear you, and I'm not telling you that you're not going to use December. But what I want you to do is, you and I both know that 11 months of data is pretty darn valuable, right? If we had to miss a month, if we had to, which we're not going to, but if we had to, we'd still be pretty good. We'd still be okay looking at the prior 11 months. And so that's what I want you to grab. Get all of your revenue details, get your actuals and your targets, okay? Get, like I said, revenue, get expenses, get profit, get anything financial, pull that out. Get any and all KPIs. Now, typically the way that I describe it, and if you think about it, walk with me on this, okay? Your revenue targets, where you deliver at the end of a month or the end of a quarter or even the end of the fiscal year, all of that is a lag measure, right? That's the last thing that you'll calculate. Everything has to be done on the front end for you to then see how you've performed financially, right? So you can see revenue day to day to day to day, but you can't necessarily see profit, right? It's definitely a lag measure until the very end of the month when all the revenue comes in and all the expenses go out and everything's paid and you have that final number. So typically financials, overarchingly, can be more of a lag measure. What I also want you to pull are what we call lead measures, right? What are all the KPIs? What are the key performance indicators that if you know you've delivered on this part of your business part A, that will directly equate to you delivering to your revenue target, right? Target B. Your lead measure measures something that directly correlates a performance to your lag measure. So what I want you to pull are all of the actuals and the targets that you've created in your business, for whatever it is you do. I want you to pull all of that. Actuals, pull it for every month, pull it for every quarter, pull it year to date. Okay, because you're going to slice it some different ways. Now, today we're not going to talk about how you're going to slice it. Today, you're just going to compile all of the key things that you need to know. Okay? You've got to pull it all together. Now, again, I mentioned the company is going to tell you what you need to accomplish and what you don't need to work on anymore, right? The priorities change year over year, and so you may have been working on a project that now has been delayed or has been completed, and you've got to move to a different phase, and so you're going to be measuring it differently. So that's why I want you to compile everything that you've used this year. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to sit down and assess how you performed. We're going to decide what you need to keep and what you need to get rid of, right? What KPIs are going to be beneficial to you this year, this coming year, and what's not going to be, right? What you don't need to necessarily focus on anymore. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, if you own your own business, you are going to be making these decisions. And that is also why it's critically important for you to take how you've performed, right? Pull that over, take your vision, right, where you want to be 12 months from now, and then we've got to marry the two. And that's why this roadmap is so critically important. You can't know how to get where you want to be if you don't know where you are now, right? We've got to define where we are now. And so pulling all of the metrics and all of the performance for this year is going to be the start of defining and determining where you are right now. Once you know where you are, we can create a map to get you where you want to be. A lot of people forget to figure out where they are. They just simply say, oh, I want to be over here. And they start trying to do all of these actions and take all of these steps and perform all of this work. But many times it's in vain because they were focusing on the wrong part of the business. Something was broken in the business and they never repaired it. And so they're just wondering why they're not getting where they want to be. And that is why figuring out where you are and being realistic about it is absolutely critical if you want to get to your endpoint within 12 months. You want to do it without wasting a lot of time. No doubt you'll probably have to pivot some. We all do. But it'll be with the least amount of pivot, right? Because you've planned. So pull all of your metrics, get it all together. And then the other thing I want you to think about is if you work for a company, if you're in the corporate world, go ahead and pull all of the key things that they've asked you to deliver for next year. Now, if you don't know, no doubt you'll at least probably know the financial plan, the targets that they want you to deliver to. Those are typically done usually around October. Definitely should be completed by now if you're getting ready to go into the new fiscal year. And so if you don't have access to that yet, go ask someone. Get that information because you want to plan. I'm going to see you next week and we're going to take it to the next level and take your metrics and I'm going to let you know what you need to do with them. But the challenge this week is get all the data points, pull it all together so you can do a full assessment. I will see you next week. As always, go and be legendary.